Hey young world, OJ here. Today I find myself in Northerly Island. Been out here a handful of times recently and decided this is where today's drawing needs to happen. It's amazing because at certain points you feel like you're out in the woods or out on an island or out just somewhere kind of far away from civilization. But in reality you right downtown. This is a deep blue, a very rich blue. I need to go and pick up more paper today before these upcoming trips. But I decided to work on the blue paper. I'm using black for the line work and the low lights per usual. I'm using white for the highlights per usual, and then I'm going to be using metallic silver to catch some of these reflections of the steel structures of the downtown skyline, as well as reflections off the water, the deep blue with the silver with the white and black. It's just going to be a really nice color palette overall. It's like an amazing little bike riding nook. I've been out there several times on my bike recently. There was a whole meetup that started out there, which I thought was actually a great meetup spot. Tucked away, very low key. Everybody could link up, have their space, go and take over the streets, terrorize the city a little bit. Wheel up Chicago. I love going on any type of bike ride, but when you with the whole squad of a few hundred people and everybody is talented and confident in their riding ability. Everybody knows how to ride. Everybody looking out for each other. Ride safely, but also free form, have fun doing it. A lot of wheelie guides out there, little kids putting me to shame. The skyline is in the distance, so I'm going to keep the details to a minimum. I actually really like using this size marker to do small buildings in the distance, forcing you to simplify a lot of those details. From this perspective, looking towards the city, a lot more of the foreground is nature, and a lot of that stuff is going to deteriorate, going to kind of fall apart when it comes to the detail. I'm not trying to draw in here every single blade of grass. I'm not trying to draw in here every single piece of plant life or every single rock. Have you ever seen any of the OG Bob Ross videos? He uses simple strokes to make whole areas come together and feel alive. I'm going to be using just broad strokes to kind of rough in some of these areas, and it doesn't got to be clean because none of these areas are clean in the first place. Like visually, they're all rough around the edges. You can't draw a clean dirt path. You know what I mean? The subtle rolling hills make Chicago look like it's actually got some hills. I'm going to exaggerate all of it. It's what makes the drawing more entertaining than a photograph. If I showed you that picture again that I showed in the beginning of the video, all of these buildings seem much more farther in the distance than they actually are. It's just the way a photograph looks. Have Soldier Field over here towards the left edge of the frame. Kind of looks like a giant spaceship in general. Think of the contrast of clean, shiny, sharp edge buildings versus the foreground elements, which is unclean, rough, dirt roads, foliage, grass, plants, rocks. The mark making between them two is a huge contrast. Want the image to feel as one, but need the natural elements to feel like they're a part of nature, and need the man-made elements to feel a little more shiny, modern. Using the same colors but different techniques in mark making, going to separate the natural world from the man-made world. It's an amazing little gem. I pretty much always come out here on a bike just because parking is a purebred disaster. If you park anywhere near the planetarium and the overlook of downtown, I mean, they out there ticketing and towing and parking enforcement just out there raising hell. It's like one of the most beautiful, iconic views of the city, yet there's only so much space. It's very limited. It's easy to draw every detail, especially when you're out here chasing the detail. Over-detailing could take this from a beautiful piece to just an overcrowded piece. Need space, need negative space. Good negative space, good positive space. Good fills, good details, know when to quit. And that time for me is right now. Thank you for watching, per usual. Northerly Island, Chicago. Summertime. Stretch it out as long as we can. Anyways, I'm OJ, Juice Loops Live. Appreciate you as always. Where should I draw? You guys have any suggestions? Anyways, new drawing coming in hot next Thursday. Thank you and bye. I'm about to hit the road. Need more paper.